Hey you guys, I am here with the cast of Outlander for a very special episode of I Have a Question. And my first question for all of you, what was it like the first time meeting each other? Do you remember your first impressions?
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember the first time I met Sam, I was running to that audition, to the camera test with him. And there was traffic and I was late and I probably was just late anyway. And I ran in and I was all very sweaty and Sam was just standing there being very cool and calm and he handed me some tissues to wipe the sweat off my brow.
It's because I was extremely sweaty at that time.
But he was just like such a calm figure and it sort of put me at ease immediately and I was like, oh, this will be cool.
Never happened again.
That was the first and last time.
We first met at our screen test, didn't we?
Yeah, you'd already been cast.
Yeah, and I was, because I was there and I was, obviously a few potential Briannas coming in, so I'd been in the room for basically the day, and I was kind of jumping around like an idiot, being all hyper and energetic, and then comes Sophie, very sweet and innocent, and I was thinking after she left, what must she have thought?
Although I do remember you'd brought in Ferrero Rochers for everyone, so all the producers were sat there with them, and no one else had touched them, and as soon as they asked me, I was like, thank you very much.
I was like, please don't take this away from me.
I think the first time... Oh, I'm sorry. No. Please.
What about us?
I forget I'm invisible when it comes to these two, you know?
Just the lads.
Go on, bromance. Go on, bromance. I think, wasn't it the read-through?
I think it was a read-through.
Yeah.
It was.
And it was in the office for production.
What'd you think?
And then we didn't actually film together for 2 years.
2 years, we didn't work
Crazy.
together.
What?
So I think, wasn't our first scene the Jamie Brianna meeting scene?
It was, yes.
He doesn't remember, but I think
No, it was. Yeah.
I take your word for it. I take your word for it.
Jamie's urinating, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you weren't urinating the first time in the office, I don't think.
What do you want here, lassie?
And when you guys are doing these chemistry reads and kind of like amping up towards production, did you have any idea the success, the level of success that the show would reach? It's like a phenomenon.
You know, you were cast first, so I think you kind of started to get an inkling from Twitter after your casting had been announced.
But I think we did this, we shot maybe a couple of episodes and we came to LA and did an event, was it LA?
Yeah,
Yes,
it was LA.
And there was just, a couple of thousand people sort of turned up and their excitement was kind of like overwhelming. You're thinking, wow, people are actually excited about what we're doing and oh my God, what are we doing?
But we hadn't released any footage at that point. But it's funny, that first year, I think it was so great that we didn't know because we had this really safe space to sort of just invest in our characters and just get on with the work. And it wasn't until, we were almost finished filming season 1 when they aired the first 8. And I remember we were shooting in these like old salt stores or something, or lime stores, I think. And the first episode had aired and we'd gotten the numbers through and they were like really high. And I remember we got to like announce, or I got to announce to all the crew how many people had watched the first episode and everyone was like,
What?
oh,
This happened.
maybe we better pay more attention to what we're doing. No, but it was really special. It was a really special moment.
And then for you guys, coming in after it had already kind of had this level of success, was that nerve-wracking or something that's super exciting?
Oh, but there was so much talk about Outlander when we started. Certainly, I'm from Glasgow, I'm from Scotland, and there was a huge buzz about it. I think even before they had started season 1, because it just had such a huge impact on the television industry in Scotland that provides so many jobs for the crew.
I think the first time I really thought it was going to be big for me personally was just when the casting announcement went out. Twitter went a bit wild.
As they do.
But yeah, I think, because we first auditioned before the show had even come out, so from the books we kind of had an idea, but then obviously these guys, I feel bad because they built it from the ground and we just came and rode on their hard work, so thanks guys.
Thanks, so. We're riding on you guys now. So.
What's your relationship like with the source material, given that this series did come from a series of books that's still being written?
It's hugely important.
Yes.
To have that resource is incredible. I like to read the book that we're about to film before we start filming, and even though we diverge from it quite a bit, it's just to be able to go back and to, because there's so much inner thoughts for each of the characters that, it just deepens your understanding of where your character is at any point.
And there's a responsibility, I think, we feel to the fans of the books. You know, they've been out there for a while. I mean, Diana is still writing, but yeah, we have a great responsibility to them, to honor them. And, you know, we always know when there's like a special book moment coming up. But it's also great. I mean, this season, you know, we do diverge a little bit, and I think it all really adds to the excitement of our show.
As actors, I mean, especially for you guys, you've been playing these characters in the Outlander universe for decades now, and you're jumping from time to time. Is that challenging?
It's challenging in a great way. I think like that's part of what we love about working on this show, is that it does keep you really on your toes, and that you get these really unique experiences of playing somebody over 3 or 4 decades. You know, it's like one of the great things about it. I mean, to be able to sort of look at someone's life and see what changes about someone, but also what remains the same.
In a strange way, you know, we have lived with these characters for such a long time. We were talking earlier, but you know, the memories are kind of real because we've lived through this with these characters for so long now that as an actor, you have such a wealth of history and experience to draw upon.
Yeah, and it is when you're playing characters not only in different time periods, but at different time periods. So obviously, I mean, for me, I played Brianna from like 16 to 25. So it's, and also then you get the different dynamics of, you know, say Claire with Jamie is a completely different dynamic for Caitriona's character than Claire with Frank, or same with Brie with Frank. You know, she acts very differently then, a 16-year-old girl with her daddy, than, you know, with the Jamie Fraser biological father when she meets him at 22. So it's just, yeah, it's really liberating actually to have the challenge of being able to play characters in such different time periods and ages.
The way they're written, they're far from being static, constantly reinventing themselves or having to reinvent themselves through what they go through, and they're, you know, constantly, it's just the experiences of all of the characters are just constantly changing and moving forward.
Everyone wants to know, how long does it take to do the makeup for Jamie's back, the scars?
I think it's like 2 hours now to get it on, and maybe like an hour or 45 minutes to take it off.
2 hours now, as in it used to be long?
Yeah, it used to be longer. Yeah, it was almost 4. Yeah. So it's pretty. I mean, complex, but it's amazing. It's actually 2 pieces, and they put it on.
I don't think I've done anything consistently for 4 hours in my life without interruption, so I would probably die. I do have some questions from Twitter, as we were discussing earlier. And the first one, Outlander Pub Quiz 05 Arrow Mark Season 5 wants to know, what news?
All right, whoa.
I don't know. I'm just going with what the tweets say. A little bird told me. What new set or costume are you most excited from for Season 5 for everyone to see?
We have a new costume designer.
Yeah, so I think the show kind of has a whole new look in many ways.
Yeah, Trisha Bigger is the new costume designer, and you know, we had an amazing costume designer in the last seasons, but it's nice to have sort of a slightly different look. But I think it's going to be so subtle that, you know, you'll sort of feel the change, but you're not going to sort of think, you know, that it looks completely different. But yeah, I think she's done an amazing job and sort of fitted in. And what about set?
The outdoor wedding.
The wedding,
sets.
guys, the wedding.
I think there may be more than one, but I just think they were done so incredibly beautifully.
Because we sort of filmed that throughout the day, and there's kind of a night element, isn't there, too?
Yeah.
So we saw that whole set in the day, and then sort of lanterns and things in the trees at night. It's just so pretty.
Yeah, when it was in full swing, it was stunning.
It was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it was
Lanterns, the
beautiful.
detail
Just
the art
simplistic
department
and
put
lovely.
into it.
And Carla XOL wants to know, for all the cast, is there something you didn't get to do this season that you really want to do in upcoming seasons?
Ride a dragon.
I'd like to direct.
Yeah.
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 That'd be a fun
I
one.
would. I think I would definitely like to, and I think you
Yeah,
probably would too.
yeah, it'd be fun.
I think I'd like to ride the car. I would like to drive that Ford. Or was it Frank's the Ford?
No, Claire drove it.
Claire drove it. Oh. How did that go?
But Brianna has, and is it just in the books? Or
In the books, Brianna's the
got a
one who
60
drives
she's got a-
from the airport with
yeah.
Roger, with Jane, but I didn't
she's
get
got like a
that one.
67 Mustang.
I think
she's got like
the-
Eleanor or something.
I think
Crazy.
the entertainment factor of Richard driving is a...
I am a fabulous driver, and whenever it.
Didn't we lose a gearbox or something?
We did.
Uh-oh.
Did we?
There was
That
one
gearbox
scene.
Secrets from the cast, here it
It
goes.
started broken. I just want
This is
to
actually
say.
season 2, and we were waiting at the top of the hill for Roger to come up in the car, and
And all you could hear
All you
is
could hear is
gears
grrr.
crunching and like
Oh,
the car
come
chugging.
on.
And
And did you break the guitar as well?
Oh, watch
The
out.
antique guitar.
breaking everything.
These things were all already quite brittle from the cold weather. You see, in Scotland, it's really cold and things just don't have the structural integrity that they would in a more humid, warmer climate.
What can fans expect from this upcoming season? There was so much in motion towards the end of the last season.
Doesn't really slow down, does it?
no, I think it's a real continuation. You know, obviously the Revolutionary War is looming, and that causes a lot of strife for our characters. They have to try and figure out how they can end up on the right side, and it's causes a lot of conflict for Jamie.
Yeah, you know, he's obviously the end of season 4 has been commanded by the British or Governor trying to hunt down his godfather, Murta, who is on the side of the regulators. So Jamie is now kind of torn between these two loyalties. He knows, obviously, from the information that Claire has, that the British are going to lose, but he's on their side for now, for the greater good. But he has to hunt down his godfather, so it's a really big storyline this season. And also we start, obviously, with a wedding.
I got to see the screener. It's so beautiful, you guys.
And I think, you know, they're kind of torn between their loyalties in that time, and Roger and Bree are sort of torn between whether it's safest for their child and for them to be in that time or be in another time, so, yeah.
I'm so excited, but really what I want to know most of all, my actual last question is young Ian okay? Are we gonna get to see him again?
Richard,
Guys,
is young Ian okay? Because you...
I haven't heard
alright?
from him. Young Ian.
Been in touch, no?
We hope he's okay.
Is he? Oh, John Bell. I don't know. I haven't heard from him since season 4.
Guess we'll just have
We just
to
have to
find
wait.
We'll
We'll
have to
out.
wait and
But
see.
thanks for that.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much
you
for
so
being
much.
here. I really
Our pleasure.
appreciate it.